Let's open Samuel chapter 2, verse 1 and 2.
First or second?
Oh, I'm sorry. First Samuel, yes. First Samuel chapter 2. First Samuel chapter 2. Hannah. Is it nice? I don't have resource, I go to the Google and I find pictures. How cool is that? We need, why do you look at me so strange? This is Hannah. Right. First Samuel 2, I'm going to go into the picture pretty soon, but not right now. Chapter 2. Verse 1. And Hannah prayed and said, my heart rejoiced in the Lord, my horn is exalted in the Lord, my mouth is enlarged over mine enemies, because I rejoice in thy salvation. There is none holy as the Lord, for there is none beside thee, neither is there any rock like our God. Let us pray. Dear Lord, as we come to you, let us praise you like Hannah does. Because we saw your hand work in our adversity, in our sickness, in our darkness. Oh Lord, let us rejoice because we see your hand. We felt your presence. As the Hannah said, you are the whole, none like other. You are the rock, solid we can stand upon. Lord, this moment, let us share as the Hannah prayed unto you. Help us to pray unto you, Lord, so we see your mighty work come upon our lives. Be with all the families and friends gathered for the Mother's Day, Lord. Uplift mother and daughters and sons. Let them realize how special the matter is their life. Thank you for the many blessings. Continue to be with us. Continue to be of my message here. And I to be your mouthpiece, deliver this message. Thank you for your presence and guidance. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. And Hannah prayed. Now, and Hannah prayed. That means something happened in chapter 1 and chapter 2 is the result of that. Hannah is way, I'm happy, right? So we need to go back to the chapter 1. What was going on with Hannah's life? Hannah is the wife of the Elkanah. And we get into the chapter 1 of first book of Samuel, chapter 1, verse 3. This man went up to his city Erie to worship and sacrifice unto the Lord of hosts of Shalom. Who is this man? Let's read that. That is Elkanah. Okay? And Elkanah had 2 wives. I'm reading the verse 2. Went back to verse 2. The name of the one is Hannah. The name of the other is Penina. Penina and the children, but Hannah had the children, but Hannah had no children. So So the verse 4 again says, when the time was, Elkanah offered he gave to the Penina, his wife, to all her sons and her daughters the portions. And unto Hannah he gave a worthy portion, for he loved Hannah, but the Lord had shut up her womb. And her adversity also provoked her sore, for to make her fret, because the Lord had shut up her womb. And as he did so year by year, when she went up to the house of the Lord, so she provoked her. Therefore she wept and did not eat. Elkanah has two wives. One is Penina, has sons and daughters. And Hannah, no child. And every year they went up to the temple, offered an offering, and the wife with the kid was so mean to the wife, does not have a kid. So Hannah started crying and did not eat the meal, the feast at the temple. So the verse 8 said, the husband said, Hannah, why weepest thou? Why eatest thou not? Why is thy heart grieved? Am I not better to thee than 10 sons? Hannah, I gave you the big portion, more than those Penina and the kids together. Because I love you so much, I gave this much. I love you so much. Isn't it worse? 10 son, your baby. I know you love to have a child. But I am here. I am your husband. Please be happy. Be content. But the Hannah has her plan. Verse 9, so Hannah rose up after they had eaten at Shiloh, and after they had drunk. Now Eli the priest sat upon the seat by the post of the temple of the Lord. Now Hannah, after the party is over, everybody got drunk and went away. Hannah went by herself unto the temple. Stop praying. Verse 10, and she was bitterness of the soul, and prayed unto the Lord, and wept sore. And she bowed about, and said, Lord of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look on the affliction of thy handmaid, remember me, not forget thine handmaid, but wilt give unto thine handmaid a man-child, that I will give him unto Lord all the days of his life. There shall no razor come upon his head. Hannah cried and cried, Lord, I have a baby boy. And if you give me the baby boy, I will give you back this baby unto you. So he will serve in the temple, not my house. But he is your baby. But I need this baby boy. Verse 12. And it came to pass that she continued praying before the Lord, and Eli marked her mouth. Now Hannah, she spake in her heart. Only her lips moved, but her voice was not heard. Therefore Eli thought she had been drunken. And Eli said unto her, how long wilt thou be drunken? Put away that wine from thee. And Hannah answered and said, no, my Lord, I am a woman of sorrowful spirit. I have drunk neither wine nor strong drink, but have poured out my soul before the Lord. Now don't tell me how to pray. Oh yes, I heard beautiful prayers. But if you pray unto God, none of the sound doesn't matter. Prayer, what happens? Go up. Not hear you guys. Prayer is the direct line. God. And Hannah asked, baby boy, I am a woman of sorrowful spirit. Verse 16, count not thine handmaid for the danger of the burial, that out of the abundance of my complaint and the grief have I spoken thereto. Then Eli answered and said, go in peace. And the God of Israel grant thee thy petition thou hast asked of him. This is a powerful verse. Sometimes the Bible is just put it in. Verse 17, verse 18, it's just so strong. You have to magnify these words. Verse 18 says, she said, Hannah said, let thine handmaid find grace in thy sight. So the woman went her way, did eat, and her countenance was no more sad. What happened here? Before the baby was born, before she conceived, her answer, the prayer of the answer is already given unto her. Don't tell me you wait till the cancer is cured. Don't tell me your blindness is gone. Then I will get the God's answer to the prayer. No, God answers prayer is when you pray unto God. And God will give you the answer. That's the reason Hannah, the sadness is disappearing. Verse 19, so that they rose up in the morning hour and worshipped before the Lord, and returned and came to their house of the Laban. And Elkanah knew Hannah, his wife, and the Lord remembered her. Wherefore it came to pass when the time was come about after Hannah had conceived, and that she bare a son, called his name Samuel, saying, because I have asked him of the Lord. Samuel is Lord heard. The God hears the request. Now, let's see, look. See, this is the prayer, right? And, okay, let's open this paper. You like this. How nice. I thought it was nice. Okay. So answered prayer. She had a baby boy. Now, when answer the prayer, need to follow up, right? What did she bow? Verse 11, she bowed a vow that, O Lord, their host, if thou wilt indeed look upon the affliction of thy handmaid and remember me, don't forget thine handmaid, but wilt give unto thine handmaid a man-child, then I will give him unto the Lord all the days of his life. I went to Mount View. Well, I didn't go to Mount View. I just went to the Bible Cemetery. It's like 20 miles away from Mount View, west of Mount View. There lays Sister Jeannie Fletcher's newly established place. There's no marker yet, but she is buried right beside 3 infant babies. One is 1969, one is 70, one is 71. She lost 3 boys, just the infant babies. In the Stone County, this is a famous story. Fourth baby was born, St. Vincent Hospital. And her husband happened to be, I stayed with him when I came first time. Her husband went to Vietnam and having a hard time coming back. It just, and losing the son at the birth, it just cannot bear. So after the delivery, Brother Gary, this fourth child, baby was born, and he could not stand anymore. So he went to the restroom of a St. Vincent Hospital and prayed unto God. I will preach. I'll be the preacher if this baby is alive. And he's the one, when I came to the United States, 1980. Sean, the fourth baby survived, and he was like 7, 8 years old. And he's the one that invited me to the church. That's good, but he was, at Sunday afternoon, he just came to me with no t-shirt, no shoes, just a cut-off jeans, big iced tea jug, and said, "I'm a preacher." I said, "You're a preacher?" Okay. And it's just, that's the beginning of me and Brother Gary, that long, long story. But that's the commitment. Yes, after that, he surrendered to preach. I believe he's one of the most influential preachers because of my part, but he preached all over Stone County. He preached down south. And he is the preacher of the Sling Blade. Have you ever watched that movie? Preacher baptized him in the creek. He made it to the movie. A famous story. Now, the baby was born. Now, last Sunday, I drove a picture, and I'm glad I didn't get the video camera. I got the creek part. Now, Hannah made a deal with God. A prayer. Now, prayer is answered. Look at the baby. It's a blue, that means baby boy, right? Let's get this right. Now, let's read the Bible a little more. And in verse 21, chapter 1 of the first Samuel. And the man Elkanah and all his house went up to the offer unto the Lord yearly sacrifice, as he always did. But Hannah went not up, and she said unto her husband, I will not go up until the child be weaned. Then I will bring him, and that he may appear before the Lord, and there abide forever. And that word forever, that means long time. That means he will not come back to the house with Hannah. He's going to stay at the temple. And Elkanah her husband said unto her, Do what seems the good, tarry until they have weaned him. Only the Lord established his word. So the woman abode and gave her son to suck until she weaned him. In verse 24, when she had weaned him, she took him up with her, with 3 bullocks and 1 ephah of flour and a bottle of wine, and brought him unto the house of the Lord in Shiloh. Child was young. How young? This baby just weaned. What, 2 years, 3 years old? More than 4 years old. This young child went to the tent. Now, your mother, you don't cry on the first day of kindergarten and have to leave kids to the kindergarten. Think about this. Yeah, kindergarten, they'll come back on every week. I mean, not weekend, every evening, right? But Samuel will have to stay in the temple by himself. Verse 26, and Hannah said, O my Lord, as thy soul lives, my Lord, I am the woman that stood by thee here, praying unto the Lord. For this child I pray that the Lord has given me my petition which I asked of him. Therefore also I have lent him to the Lord. As long as he lives, he shall be lent to the Lord. And he washed to the Lord there. I saw, verse 28, this he worshipped. I thought that was Eli the worship. And the Bible commentary said, that's not Eli. That is a little child, the baby Samuel, 2 years old, 3 years. Barely speaking. And he knew how to worship. How in the world 2 years old boy can worship God? I know. Because Hannah told me. Hannah is a woman with a faith. I don't know if she went to the Sunday school. I don't know if she went to the preacher's house. I don't know. But what she did influenced Samuel's life. That's the hand. And then the text starts. Hannah prayed and said, my heart rejoiced in the Lord. Mine home is exalted in the Lord. My mouth is enlarged over mine enemies, because I rejoiced in thy salvation. Now Hannah prayed for the baby boy. This baby boy was born. Right? But that was the blessing. That was, I rejoice in thy salvation. That means the prayer answer is coming down to that. There is none holy as the Lord. There is none beside thee. Neither is there any rock like our God. Hannah said, I experienced with first hand. I have answered prayer. Every time Brother Gary preached, and the Brother Sean, his son is right beside, and running around. That is God's answer. He's preaching with God's answer. Same way this hand. I don't know. I was making joke out of the kindergarten first day. I cannot imagine what the first day of the Samuel had. I don't know how many miles from it said make a trip, annual trip. It's not easy, miles and miles away, and leave this child. But look, she didn't forget. She did not. Chapter 2, going down to the verse 18. Samuel grew up. Samuel ministered before the Lord, being a child, girded with the linen ephod. Verse 19 said, moreover, his mother made him a little coat, brought it to him from ear to ear when she came up with her husband to offer the yearly sacrifice. That's just a beautiful thing. It's only once a year Hannah can see Samuel. But those 364 days, she's making this little coat just for Samuel. Now, those little boys, they'll eat and they'll grow up every year, right? So Hannah knows how much he's going to grow. Every coat fit just right because Hannah knew. So this relationship, oh yes, that is long, long away to each other, but as strong as it could be. Why? Because that is God's will. It doesn't matter whether the separation is miles and miles away. They're all in God's hand. That's the greatest part. And look, verse 21. And the Lord visited Hannah so that she conceived, bare 3 sons and 2 daughters. Their house filled with the children. But the next sentence is the most important. And the child Samuel grew before the Lord. Hannah knew that. Even if she cannot see. This is before the texting. This is before the video chat. But exactly Hannah knows what baby boys do. Go down to verse 26. And the child Samuel grew on, was in favor both with the Lord and also with man. With man, including the mother. Samuel grew up to be most notable, the first judge of the nation of Israel, controlled many people. He's the one anointed King David. What happened? Because of the mother Hannah. See this strong part? Remember the God's Trinity? Triangle is very strong. I'll show you sometime. Square, it'll go everywhere, flip-flops. But if it's triangle, a sharp point, it will stay there. That's the reason on the bridge, there's a triangle everywhere. It's not square like that. Its core part is exit out. It has to be all triangle shape because that is the strongest bond in the 3 objects. We try that. knew Samuel. Same time, Hannah was talking about Samuel, the blessing from God. Same time, Samuel praying for the hand. See the triangle? The strongest. Let's remember that. Let's all stand. We'll sing one song.